Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play series for Civilization 6. We're going to be playing as Elizabeth I of England, obviously on a Deity difficulty. She is one of the new leaders that has come out recently as part of one of the leader packs, specifically for England, of course. We did just play England a couple series ago with Eleanor, but that was a completely different game that we're going to see with Elizabeth today. In fact, Elizabeth is going to take advantage of kind of most of England's bonuses a lot more than I think Eleanor did. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun playing with her. She gets a lot of extra trade and stuff like that. We'll get into that in just a bit. But I'm going to make a couple other changes, or one specific change that will change the way this plays out pretty drastically. We'll get into that in just a moment as well. But let's go ahead and get right into it, and I will explain what I'm talking about. All right, here we are about to start our game with Elizabeth I. Before I get into this, I do want to ask, if you do like these types of videos and want to see more of them, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you know when these videos and others like it go live, and consider commenting below. That really helps out the channel a lot, helps me know kind of how engaged you guys are. Anything you can do to help the algorithm find me would be really appreciated. I really like putting these videos out, but I'll be honest, I don't get a lot of views. It is what it is, you know. Yeah, anything you can do would be very helpful and very appreciated. So, Elizabeth I. We're going to do a couple things here just because I want to have some fun with this. I mean, we're at the point in Civilization 6 where I'm making up ways to have fun. If you saw my most recent Eleanor games, I'm finding ways to challenge myself. I'm not going to do quite the same thing here, but we are going to do something maybe a little similar. First off, we are going to play on a small continents map, which is going to give us lots of little islands, maybe some bigger continents, but plenty of water. I'm also trying to decide between marathon and epic game speed. Standard is fine. Standard is what I normally play at. It goes smoothly for a YouTube series. But the reason I want to slow down the game speed a bit is because I want to have fun with some of Elizabeth's kind of stuff in the mid game. I mean, specifically, her Sea Dog units. Those Sea Dog units are going to be awesome and fun to play with. And on a standard game, I feel like we just breeze past them and we don't get to use them really hardly at all. So I kind of want to slow things down a bit and see if we can get a benefit of those Sea Dog units a bit earlier. So that's the reason why I'm thinking epic or marathon. I'm going to try marathon. This may come back and bite me in the rear end because this is drastically going to slow things down. But I think this will be a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy it as well. The other thing I'm going to do, if I can kind of sit here and think of, remember some that we have, I'm going to go through, I'm going to pick up some civilizations that have naval units, because I kind of want to just have like a naval shootout, if you will. Dido would be pretty good with her Cathans, although her biremes are pretty early. I could put other English ones in there, but I don't know if that's what I want. U-boat comes a little bit late, so is there any that are more around the time period of the Sea Dog? The Young is a frigate replacement, so Katarja would be a good one. Who else would be good? I might have to come back and get some of these guys like Harold and those like that, just because I don't know if we're going to have a lot of other options for kind of that mid-level ships. The Now from Zhao here would be a pretty good one. That's a caravel. That should be relatively decent. We'll look at that here in just a moment. Let's see, who else do we have? Julius, no, of course not. Christina, Kublai Khan, nope. Coupe obviously is very naval based, but again, very early game naval based. There's Ludwig, also U-boats. I know that we got Netherlands. I'm going to get to them here in just a minute, but I'm trying to go scroll through some of these other ones. This is a battleship replacement. That's probably a bit too late game, similar to the U-boat. We may have to settle on some of those though, just because. Who else could we play as? I'm trying to think. Barbary Corsair? Replace the Privateer. No, that's perfect. That's just what we're doing. Why? Oh, color scheme. Okay, we'll come back to the color scheme in a minute. Not super. Actually, what's the other Suleiman? Is it? Do they both have Barbary Corsair? They do. Which one do we want to play as? Actually, we haven't played. We have seen this one a bit. Which one would be more fun to play with? Honestly, I might change it to the other one. Just something a little bit different. Similar, but different. Who else do we have? Again, I know that we've got... See, that's another Theodore. We haven't gotten to... There's Wilhelmina right there. Wilhelmina would be a really good one as well. And I think that's about it. So we might grab some early games. I think I'd rather have... Would I rather have early game or late game? I'm probably going to get some early game ship-based civilizations to kind of throw in here to fill these things out. So like a Basel here might be pretty decent with the Drummond. Then we've got Dido with her Byreme. That's probably okay with her docks. And then finally, probably we got to put a Herald in here, right? With Viking longships. I think that will work, which would have to be this Herald. I think I like this. And I think we will change your colors just a smidge. Do we have a blue? We do have a blue. We have a red. We do have a red. Really? Those are too similar? Are you really? That seems odd. Alright, that seems somewhat okay. I think that stands out a little bit better. Okay, we'll go with this. Bunch of naval seafaring type folk. Or at least they all have naval units. So whether or not they're good at naval, some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them are more land-based, things like that. But I think this will be kind of a fun thing to see how this plays out. And we're going to, like I said, slow this thing down enough that I'm really hoping that we can really play around with the units a lot more. The one thing I've talked about this before, in many years ago, probably it's at this point, so you guys might not have heard it, but the slower the game speed, the more it benefits a military-based strategy. Because the map stays the same no matter how slow you are, and the units move the same number of tiles. So if you're moving 10 tiles, well, 10 tiles in a standard game is, you know, what, let's say it's 5 turns. That is 1% of your turns right there. 10 tiles in a marathon game is like 0.1% of, you know, it's like such a small number. So the longer the game speed, the more it benefits a military-based playstyle. All right, there's the game random seed and the map random seed. If you want to play along, we're not going to play with any of the game modes, I don't think, at this moment. Since I've never played as Elizabeth, we're going to keep it as is. And let's go. 7 minutes in, and I'm about to start the game. That's okay. If you guys don't like the slowness of the start, then I guess you can fast forward. I don't know. It is what it is.
Stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest. From this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. Elizabeth Regina, Virgin Queen of England and Monarch of the Seas, you command the wooden wall that defends England from those who would seize it. Guard yourself against intrigues at home and abroad, and let your captains set sail at your command. Bow your head to no one, and Britannia shall rule the waves.
That is the goal. Rule the waves. So we got a couple things here. First off, we've got Drake's Legacy, which is Elizabeth's specific bonus. England's trade route capacity is increased by 2 after acquiring your first Great Admiral. So it's going to be very critical for us to go out there and try to get a Great Admiral as soon as possible. Trade routes to any city-state provide +3 gold for every specialty district in the origin city. So we're going to be doing a lot of trade routes with city-states, maybe more so than even other civilizations. And we get 100% yields from plundering trade routes with naval units. So we're definitely going to be... what's the word? We want to be pirates here. Yeah, I guess. We're going to be using our sea dogs as privateers that they are. We then get Workshop of the War. This is the England base ability. Iron and coal mines accumulate 2 more resources per turn, which obviously iron and coal is going to be good for those kind of mid-game naval units. We get 100% production towards military engineers. Military engineers receive 2 extra charges, I should say. Buildings that provide additional yields when powered receive +4 of that yield. So it's going to be critical for us to build up some good infrastructure that way. And then we get 20% production towards industrial zone buildings. Harbor buildings increase strategic resource stockpiles by +10 on standard speed. So good stuff there. We do have the Sea Dog here, which obviously is going to be the bread and butter of our forces that I'm really kind of hoping go out there and steal a bunch of cool units from other people, which obviously is a replacement for the Privateer. It has a chance to capture defeated enemy units, can only be seen by other naval unit raiders, which is normal for naval raider type units. And then finally, it's going to be a little bit covered up here, but we do get the Royal Navy Dockyard, which is our English replacement And it does give us, reduces movement penalty for embarking and disembarking. We get extra movement for all naval units built in the dockyard, and +2 gold, and +4 your loyalty if built on a foreign continent. So it's going to be incentivize us a little bit to spread our wings outside of our initial zone of control. All right, we are coastal. A lot of grass. Minimal production. Minimal production, yeah. Don't know how I feel about this start. I mean, we can put a dockyard over here somewhere, or possibly even down here if we chose to do that. We're on a river. We do have floodplains that will grow up and get lots of food. I mean, the production is going to be problematic in this particular starting spot. But I don't know that... I mean, we are going to be on some smaller islands, smaller continents. I don't know we're going to have a lot of other options to move around and build in more better locations. So I think we're just going to settle in spot. Well, I say that. I kind of want to keep the forest tile alive. Do I move across and just settle on this? It does move us away from this tile. Keeps on, I mean, I could also move down and just be on top of this hill down here, which wouldn't be a terrible idea either. Either way, costs us a movement point or turn on our city. I just don't want to. I don't want to consume the forest because we need as much production as we can get, and consuming this forest feels kind of yucky. I don't actually see where our luxury resource for the starting city is, so that's a bit troublesome. We do have pearls over here, so if I move down to this hill tile, it does move me away from the river, which isn't the absolute end of the world, because we could always put an aqueduct down at some point. We can even put an aqueduct this way up to the mountain. But at least that gets us closer to pearls. I also just move down here. I feel like moving down here is probably an okay move. Gets us a little bit closer to these floodplains so that we can get a lot of extra food that way. Lots of flat tiles to build some districts down this way. Gets us close enough to this stone to move out to that direction. Yeah, I think I'm going to move down a tile. I want to be next to this. I could, like I said, I could move over here, which does put us a little bit further away from putting our dockyard out, which is the one reason why I'm a little concerned about this specifically. Because either way, any way we go about it, it's going to be 3 tiles away from us, which is a little bit tough. I think we're just going to move down. May or may not be the right move, but honestly, at some point, we just got to stop debating it and decide something. So I'm going to settle here. Maybe not the most amazing start in the world, but it keeps us within 2 tiles of the coast, which is kind of where I want to be, because I want to be able to put down our dockyard as soon as possible, but I also didn't want to lose this extra production from that right there. All right. Tech tree, we do want to go into ship stuff as soon as possible. We want to really get our great admirals kind of coming up very, very quickly, if at all possible, because we're going to want that, what am I trying to say? We're going to want that extra gold, or extra trade routes from the gold. Yeah, you know what I mean. Extra gold from the trade routes. I can't talk and think at the same time, apparently. This is actually kind of a rough start. We're on the very northern border here. We're going to have to expand. This is actually going to force us to leave our safety of our little island. Which is going to be fine, but it kind of feels very English, to be fair, up here on the northern edge of a map, if you will, and having to expand out. That actually feels kind of good in some sense. Oh, extra population. That's really good. Not a lot of choices here. We'll just settle what we're going to do, what we have right there. We're not trying to get used to doing a little bit quicker on the turns here, because obviously we are playing on that epic speed, or marathon speed, I should say. So we are going to be taking a lot of time to get some stuff produced.
The rising world.
We did find us a natural wonder. That is actually huge. Going to greatly speed up our astrology, which we are going to be continuing on here. I mean, it's kind of a crummy wonder to try and take advantage of, but otherwise it is fine. Okay, we found us a cod here. They are melee and anti-cavalry units. Attacks do full damage to city walls. I don't know how much that's going to come up, but you know, it's always good to have a little bit extra production for units, I suppose. Plus, it's another city. It's a city state for us to trade with at some point if we don't want to just burn them to the ground. Yeah, we don't have a luxury resource next to our city at all. In fact, had we stayed place, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, we did not have a luxury resource within our tiles. What? That seems strange. That must mean we have a, surely we have a strategic resource, because I feel like I read somewhere that they do score your starting locations a bit to try to make them somewhat even. So if you don't have a really good luxury resource, it usually implies that you have a strategic resource. I could be wrong on my information, but I felt like I read that somewhere. All right, so obviously not a lot to explore here early on. I think we're just going to move this warrior up to try and take out that encampment up that way. Normally we play 500 turns. This is 1,500 turns. We're going to go ahead and just auto-explore you. That's going to be fine. You are going to make your way up to here. And you are going to start building a... Can get an early settler. Go ahead and get a slinger out. Very likely that we are going to build the city, or build a settler right after this next one. Already seen some galleys on the waters. There's another encampment over here to our left. All right, taking the city, or this thing will be pretty big for us. Get us a good chunk of gold here. Is that enough to get us a worker yet? Nope, workers are... I forgot, because it's slower game speed, we are way more expensive. But we'll get one here in a bit. We do have a promotion here. We'll get that here in just a moment as well. Oh, I was like, what did we get the builder from? I forgot there was a goodie hut up here. I was sitting there scratching my head. I'm like, I'm confused. Okay, so let's go ahead and get your promotion. We'll just keep doing battlecry type stuff. That's fine. I mean, obviously food is typically extremely good. The entire game, but especially the early game. I'm going to start moving you this way to kind of help out the slinger. Go take out this encampment over here. I mean, honestly, a trio of farms probably not a bad idea just early on. It's going to take us a while before we can start taking advantage of them anyway, but it's not like we have a lot of other choices at the moment. At the very least, a duo of farms, just so we have a couple options for food. But other than that, I think we're going to... In fact, we're actually going to have you focus... Well, you can stay where you're at, more default. We'll probably wait on mining. We might wait on mining to get that last one, that last charge. So, yep, I think we need to go ahead and get us a settler. The sooner we get another city out, the better. Really hoping this series does not go too slow. Although, the fact that I have kind of took 7 minutes to get into the game might not be boding well for that. All right, we're going to just go ahead and sleep you in here. As soon as we get mining, we'll go ahead and go over to the stone and settle that up. Get us a little bit extra production. All right, there's astrology. That's a good step in the right direction. Sailing. There'll be a lot of turns. We probably will stop that one early so that we can settle this city on the coast. One good thing about doing marathon stuff, anything that's going to speed up the production and other things that we're doing is going to have a much bigger impact on a game like this. No huge surprise there. I'm actually just going to fortify you in place. I think you'll live. I actually could be wrong. Actually, you know what? We're going to move you back. That was a little weird. I don't know if I've ever seen them do that before. Duck out, duck back in. We're going to move you here, but we are going to just fortify you. You are also going to fortify the hill. Well, we'll get this taken out here in a bit. A couple more turns and we'll get another population, which will help a little bit here. Now, just keep fortifying for now. I think you'll... Well, you know what? Just in case, we're going to back you up. We're not going to risk losing our first early unit. They're too expensive. They're too valuable right now. 2 turns. You will... Actually, honestly, you probably just go straight on the food to help us grow even more. Another goody hut. It's actually coming away from his thing. It's over here. We're about to grab that. Hopefully it's something really useful. I am just going to go ahead and take the shot here. I think that's still okay. We're on a hill, so I'm not super worried about taking damage. In fact, we can go ahead and take this guy out. Done. Get us this bronze working, which is pretty significant. And you can take that. Get us 90 gold and 3 arrow score. Nice. All right. It doesn't really give us any value. I'm going to hold on to the envoy in case we find somebody else. For now, we're fine. What did we get from this? I didn't even see it. Was not paying attention. That's okay. What are you working? You're working the food, which again, I think is probably okay. Try to help us grow a little bit here. Focus on food. We're down to 25. That's it, but that's 7 more turns there. What if I focus on production? Only shaves 2 turns off there. I think the default balanced mentality is actually still the right one for here. All right, you're gonna go ahead and come all the way back to the city capital. You can actually probably heal up in place. I don't think I'm too worried about you. There we go. I don't think we're doing a lot of barbarian stuff right now, so honestly, the survey might actually help us a little bit here. We definitely want God King. We want the faith. We want the gold. We'll start working on craftsmanship because we do plan on improving something relatively soon. So this is a bigger landmass than I thought it was. That's good. Definitely have a spot for another city over here somewhere. Not really one over here. I don't know that we want to go up into the tundra or not. It's not going to be a great city, honestly, unless we settle literally right here. And even that's not going to be an amazing city. There's definitely some room over here though, that we may try to take advantage of. First city probably going to stay close by though, just to be able to kind of have a little bit of safety in numbers. We might. I don't know that we're going to have seafaring stuff yet, and to be able to come across to the island over here or not. That might be like a 3rd city or 4th city location. All right, you're going to go ahead and heal up where you're at. We do have the goody hut over here. I'll try to pay more attention to what we actually get from it this time. I'm actually just going to put you right here on this little cliff. Kind of check for any ships coming by. And that should be okay. Okay, I mean, honestly, not bad. And the reason that's not bad is because it's a bunch of extra faith early on here. That's going to help us get a Pantheon a lot quicker than we were going to originally. Pantheons are a lot slower, obviously, on this game mode, 75 faith. We're going to have one here in, well, 25 turns. So that's not bad. I might have preferred something that had culture, to be perfectly honest, but I'm not going to complain too much about that. So we did find another city-state. Again, I don't think there's any value for us sending the envoy to this one either. This is a pretty good one for us. We're going to have a lot of districts next to coast or lake tiles, most likely. Getting a little extra culture for free, because we're not going to be primarily focusing on culture ourselves, would be good for us. All right, you're going to go ahead and take a... I don't know, we'll take hills. You're literally right next to a bunch of hills. It feels very relevant to your current situation. Anything else? Nope, 17 turns on our settler. You can go back to Auto Explorer. Yeah, this is a lot larger landmass than I originally expected. But with everybody else being seafaring, we know that they're going to be expanding out pretty heavily. All right, warrior, just chill for now. I don't think there's anything we want to go do. I'm not planning on going after a city-state or anything like that right now. Early game is going to be a lot of just next turnings. There was an encampment pop up somewhere. Oh, over here. Okay, that's a little ways away from us, so I don't know that we want to go after that specifically. Yeah. We did expand a tile, which got us some more production. That's a pretty big deal. Did slow down our growth now, but getting the settler out a couple extra turns earlier, I think this is the right move. We got as much growth as we could for a few turns. This expansion, I think that's a good move. I'm not going to change that. I haven't done a marathon game in forever. Done a few epic games here and there. But yeah, mostly it's been standard. A couple more turns on sailing, and then we can swap off of that, because we definitely will be founding a city on the coast, I think. Definitely, I think. Language 101 here, guys. Oh, we got a Pantheon, too. Pretty sure I want to settle over here, and like I said, I do believe I will settle on the coast. Kind of thinking literally right here. Question. Does settling next to a lake count as coast? No, right? No, it's a lake tile, right? It's a question I don't know the answer to, so I kind of want to just quick save and check it, because I just don't know the answer to that. I'm pretty sure it doesn't count, but I hadn't actually ever thought about it. I don't really see a lot of lakes, usually. So I think I might move here, save it real quick, just to see. I think it's a good educational moment for us. We are going to move we'll move the slinger up there to help you out. I believe we're one turn away from this, and we did get our Pantheon. So, probably would prefer something that's going to give us production from, I mean, I like this. I like this a lot. I mean, it's not going to be super beneficial right this second, because there's a few things that are a little bit out of our range, but as we build more and more cities, I feel like this could become a thing. I mean, tundra tiles, we're going to have a lot of those options if we wanted to go that route. But I just feel like this one fits the theme of what we're going for here. You know what? It may not be the best one, because I think there are some other... I mean, city growth is always good. Getting a free builder is awesome, also fun. City patron goddess is usually really, really good. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. I think this one just fits the theme. And for the sake of the theme, we're going to go for that one. Which does incentivize me to settle here, actually, as opposed to here. So I may not even bother with the saving thing, other than I'm just curious now. All right, I'm going to do it just because I'm curious. Because I just want to know. I got to know, right? I got to know. All right, we're going to go ahead and pick up mining, which does mean that I can go ahead and move the... I mean, we're a ways away from it, but... So I guess I can wait a little bit. We'll move the builder out that way here in a smidge of time. Stonehenge, I mean, yeah... I don't know. Stonehenge in England just doesn't sound right to me. Sorry. I can be ridiculous sometimes. I mean, we can't neglect our military. But I'm not immediately worried about anything. Culture is always good. Honestly, we don't have a lot else to do right this second. Maybe we do build Stonehenge just because it's England. Why not? Worst case, we lose it and we get some production for something else. Of course, we find Harold first. He's probably not the guy I wanted to find first, if I had to be perfectly honest. Because he's obviously an early game naval civilization, which is going to be a little bit tough for us. We just got a encampment somewhere in the fog. Oh, way up there. Not super worried about that. I'm sure Akkad will have a mission for it at some point, or be happy if we were to go clear that out. All right, we're going to end this game on the quick save just to see what this does. Because again, this is more of a I'm curious than anything. I still probably will settle here because of the fishing boat thing now, but I am curious. No, okay. I didn't think it would work because I figured it was very specifically coast, but I figured it was worth a shot. All right. We'll load that. Actually, no, we're going to go ahead and call the episode there. I will reload that quick save for the next episode. We're going to settle one tile to the left, which I think was going to be better anyway. Even if this had worked, I probably was going to do that anyway. I just wanted to see. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have 2 cities off to a pretty good start here. 63 turns into a 1,500 turn game. If we were to divide that by 3, that means we're settling our second city on turn 21. I can handle that if you think of it from a standard game perspective. So I don't know. I really hope that you guys are looking forward to this series as much as I am. Hopefully you guys are going to be patient with me because again, we are going to be going pretty slow in one sense, but I think once we get into some of the conflict and military type stuff, it will feel a little bit faster. It's just this early game is obviously quite a bit slower because everything builds so slow. But I do appreciate you guys watching. I'm looking forward to looking forward to having fun with this series, so I hope you are as well. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.